I'm like, what? Which woman would divorce you for having too many cool cars? So a few years ago, we had a customer in our car storage facility, and he was a really nice guy from Russia. Obviously, now people are going to think the Russians again, but yes, it is what it is. He was from Russia. He had a few cool, like, sports cars, but also a couple of very expensive hypercars. At the time, he was storing with us a Lamborghini Aventador with us, and then a couple more cars. And at some point, he calls me up and he says, "Hey, Ray, I want to bring like 1 or 2 more cars. Would that be fine?" I said, "Sure. We still have space. You can bring as many cars as you want, basically." A few months go by, and he says, "Hey, I ordered a brand new GT3 RS, and Porsche is going to deliver it to your place. It doesn't need to be registered at all, because I'm going to use it on track days." I said, "Good enough, right?" So the car gets delivered, all was fine. And at the time, our storage facility was actually in the same place where we were renting cars from. So people would walk in, they could see the cars, but they couldn't really go to the cars. It was in a different part of the building, but you could visibly see them. What happened was he started to bring more and more and more cars. And I thought this is a little bit strange because this guy is traveling for business the whole world. He was also in the US at the time quite often. Also, like in the Middle East and in Australia, he was traveling worldwide for his business. And I'm like, why does he want to have so many cars here at the Nurburgring? But then again, it's not my business and he's paying for storage. So I don't ask questions. And I know he's wealthy enough that it's actually his cars and it's not like stolen cars or whatever. So all fine. At some point, he says, "Well, can I move half of my car collection from Russia to Germany?" So I looked into the legalities of having a Russian bladed car in Germany and how long can you drive it for and all of those things. And the sad news was you could only do it for 90 days. So every 90 days, the car needs to be physically get back to Russia, documented, and then it can come back to Germany for 90 days again, which is a logistical nightmare. Now comes the time where I understand what he was doing, actually. He didn't talk to me about this. If he would have told me in advance, I would have maybe dealt with it a little bit different. But his cars were on display. Yeah, so as I said before, you could visibly see the cars. And because it was all cool cars, we obviously put them in the spot where everybody could see them. So we have a customer walking in from Russia. Him and his wife and 2 kids, they were taking pictures, obviously, from the cars from a distance, right? A few weeks goes by, and he phones me up. He says, "Ray, I have a big issue." I said, "Okay, we can maybe solve the issue, whatever it may be." And he says, "Is there any way you could repark my cars elsewhere?" So I asked him, "Why do you want your cars reparked? Because they're standing here for like a while now. What's now the issue?" He says, "Well, I have a big issue with my wife." What happened was the Russian couple that came in and started to take pictures, the wife of our customer was friends with his wife. So she showed the guy's wife pictures. And his wife asked the question to him, "I thought you sold the Lamborghini." And she saw the Lamborghini on the picture next to a car that she knows he still owns. So he lied to his wife and said, no, the guys who have the Lamborghini bought it from me. So that was like a small line to cover up that he sold the Lamborghini. I said, "Well, sure, we can move them, but we don't really have the space so to have them all gone again. We need to have a bigger building then." I asked him, I said, "Well, what is the issue now? Because we can put some cars on display, which she knows about, and the other cars we can maybe move to the back so nobody can see them anymore, or we can put like a cover over it or whatever." So he says, "Yeah, please cover them up." All fine. Again, a few months go by, and he comes with his wife. And his wife asks me, whilst he's gone, he says, "How many cars does he have here actually?" And I'm sitting there and I don't know what to tell her, because I don't know what cars he lied about that he sold and what cars she knows about. I said, "I don't know. I don't do the storage part," which was obviously a lie as well, but I just tried to save him a little bit. They're going out having a blast. He needed one of his cars, so I very gently took just that car without uncovering anything else and gave him his car. All was fine. And at the end of the day, she comes back alone with the car. And she's like, "I want to see the cars that you have here, actually. It's interesting." I said, "Well, there is a few cars which are from some other clientele that don't wish to be seen." So I tried to like get rid of her, But she was so demanding of seeing cars in our storage unit. And now one of my colleagues walks in, taking out a car from somebody else. And he sees all these cars covered up, obviously. So what does he do? He starts to uncover the cars to find the car he's looking for. And the first car he uncovers is a car that he sold. So she knows the car, obviously, because that specific car was used on their wedding. And that was a Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale. So he uncovers the car. There is the Stradale with Russian tags on it. And she goes like, that mother beep. Again, a few weeks goes by and he comes back to drive one of his cars and he says, Ray, that was a big, big mess. She saw the Scuderia. That was actually the first car I told her that we sold. I had to tell her the truth and now we're going to get a divorce. I'm like, what? Which woman would divorce you for having too many cool cars? So what happened actually was, in the end, the reason he told her that he was selling his cars, because the cars were, let's say, legitimately bought with money that she didn't know about. And that's where the issue was, actually. So she never knew his real financial background. He tried to, let's say, hide it from her. And once she started to ask questions, he said, well, I'm not that rich. I always need to sell a car in order to buy a car. But he never sold a car. He just kept on buying more and more. So she found out through his car collection how much her husband was actually worth. And then the trust was gone and she says, I don't want to deal with this anymore, because now she thought it was dodgy, which it really wasn't. That's how they ended up in a divorce, actually. He didn't sell a single car. Good man.
I'm at the Lars Anderson Auto Museum, home of America's oldest car collection, and they are holding a sweepstakes where one of you is going to win this Porsche 992. You can enter at the link in the description below and you will have an amazing car, but much more importantly, you'll be helping keep America's car culture alive. The Lars Anderson Auto Museum is the hub of New England car culture, and that is why every week here on the grounds, there's something amazing happening. So if you're in the Boston area, come say hey, and either way, enter to win this thing because it's awesome.